to a person, and if they're tortured by that, it is actually written. I was actually quite shocked when I read it. When I was reading what all are like the human against human rights, what are the actions that they do against human rights? I was shocked when I saw that, because that's exactly like what you're telling now. They expose this continuous tile-cutting sound next to Swamiji just to torture Swamiji. God, so
and also, I would like to highlight another point. I would like to request the NTV operator to rewind a little bit back. We can see a newspaper clipping which says a battalion of 600 police were deployed for Swamiji. This is just... Actually, I would like to quote something here. Even for the worst of criminals, so many policemen are not required. Here, for one innocent, and if Swamiji is just continuously abiding by the law, and an innocent person just to demonize Swamiji in the public, creating not just the whole lawfare, but the way we can see how the police are manhandling Swamiji, pushing him into the van, pulling him and dragging him in front of the public eye just to demonize Swamiji in the public. For a person who's been completely abiding by the laws, and first, for a person who's innocent, second, abiding by the law, just to create a confusion in the public, this is a way of causing a programmed confusion where the viewers will get confused to see a battalion of 600 police just for one sannyasi, one man who is abiding by the laws. This was just another big tactic to demonize in the eyes of the public, to demonize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who was innocent, just to create a scene and just to create that kind of a confusion and panic amongst the disciples.
Just what you're sharing, just now the clipping to show. Swamiji is walking like normally. Swamiji is walking from behind. Someone is just pushing Swamiji. There is no need for all those. It's just extremely painful I don't have words to describe this. I mean, it's total unjust, unfair.
And actually, Ma Bhaktika Swami, I can understand when you are telling what kind of a panic you all would have been through for those 36 hours of not knowing where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is, and not, first of all, being shown the way the lawfare happened, the way police are manhandling the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and the whole thing. It was pushed to such an extent where the disciples had to file habeas corpus in the panic. They were panic-stricken, they were grief-stricken, and they were desperate to know, just to get confirmation, just with the hope that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is alive, just to know that basic information. And you were there when the habeas corpus was filed. In fact, if you would like to share more about how that part happened, where you all were panicking, how the whole arrest of the Supreme Pontiff had happened, how his life was at threat, how he was manhandled, how the mob, there was so much of continuously mob attacking, media violence, and police themselves were manhandling. Would you like to share what was the situation for all the disciples and all the devotees who were panicked and who were searching for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism?
Definitely, Ma. So, like I said, they took Swamiji away. They took him away to an undisclosed location, and 36 hours was a nightmare for us. We were just on the streets, not knowing where they had kept him, what had come to his body. We just had no clue. And the next day was supposed to be the anticipatory bail hearing, which had got illegally adjourned to the next day, if you remember. I just shared with you, right? So the next day dawned, and then we rushed to the court again. And they are bringing Swamiji for the bail hearing. From where, which location, we don't know. So here he is surrounded completely by them, and they've come for the bail hearing, and then the bail is granted, right? The moment the bail is granted, we are just eager to grab Swamiji and take him to safety. Then what happens? They tell us, again, there is a huge mob waiting outside. The place was just thronging, right? And they told us, we will take him and hand over Swamiji safely to you in the border so that you can take him and go. right? And we could, it was not even a situation where we could say a yes or no, right? So we could not even get near Swamiji. We could just stand and watch. And this is information that we were getting from one or two police personnel who were just there in the fringe of it, right? So then what happened? They took him again into the van. So then we started following the van. And the van, instead of going in the direction that they had told us they're going to take him and leave him with us, it went in the opposite direction. And that just ran chills down our spine, right? The van started heading towards Ramnagar, towards the DC magistrate office. And we were wondering, why would they take him? He's been given the bail. He's supposed to be handed over. He's supposed to go back home, right? But they took him back to the DC magistrate's office. And the Adinavasis were actually trying to follow the van very closely. And then what happened was, once the van entered the DC magistrate's office, they locked the gates on the face of the car that was following. And therefore, our Adinavasis could not enter. They were stuck outside. They begged, pleaded to be allowed inside. And by then, the roads were thronging with people. The media mafia, their vehicles were parked for 1 kilometer stretch leading up to the DC magistrate's office. And we had no clue what was going to happen to him inside. And then
I just want to reiterate what you're saying is, despite of getting the bail, which means legally, the police are supposed to give Swamiji back to us. Instead, they literally kidnapped Swamiji and took them to a different location altogether, which was followed by the media militant forces who are waiting to attack Swamiji. And you will not disclose what they were going to do to Swamiji. And the despite of all the devotees going and pleading along with the legal bail, means the court is ordered.
Yes.
So it's not even a question about justice or anything. Where are they even respecting the law here? That to a law-abiding citizen, Swamiji, first of all, they're just pushing. We can see in these video clips. These video clips are extremely painful. When Swamiji is walking, we can just clearly see from behind, they're just pushing. They're actually squeezing Swamiji's hand. Don't know whether they scratch Swamiji with their nails. No idea how much they would have pushed and tortured Swamiji. We can just see even in this clipping. And despite of the legal bail being there, this was what we got. This is something like unimaginable. The injustice, or I don't know what word to use, but understand, just for all of us, despite of this, just not even 1% of what Swamiji has gone through just for us. Oh Hindus, at least now let us all wake up. Understand, this is what is happening to Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism itself. Now, out of his utmost compassion, his tyaga, the sacrifice, he, despite of going through all these, has come down again. Today, again, we are going to be having the live Nithyananda SATSANG directly by the Supreme Pontiff of Hindus, just for us. Let us all get ready to receive the avatar. Sit with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. Deeply and slowly. Out of this place of gratitude, that we realize the avatar has gone through so much, taken up everything on him, just for us. From this space of deep gratitude, let us all chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Continue.
in the deep meditative space of gratitude as we all prepare ourselves to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the direct audience with the avatar. Continue to sit straight as we all chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
கண்டாரே கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே ஒரு வீடு ஒரு கூடு அட எதுவும் கிடையாதே சாக்காடு பிடிமூப்பு அதையெல்லாம் கடந்தாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கூத்தாடும் ஜடையாண்டி அதை குறியா கொண்டாரே காத்தோடு கதை பேசி சிவஞானம் கண்டாரே பத்தோட ஓரட்டு பத்தோட 18 சித்தர்கள் விளையாட்டு எத்தனை பேருக்கு தந்தாரோ விளையாட்டு சித்தங்கா போக்கு சிவம் போக்கு என சொன்னாரே பித்தங்கா போக மருந்தாக தனம் வந்தாரே வடகாசி தென்காசி